Hey guys, Palsteron here, and today let's talk about my day 1 update for the Kinetic Fusillade Ballista Paladin. I'm making this video early because I know a lot of people are starting on Friday, which is when today is coming out, and I wanted to put out the leveling. I'm currently level 66. I did the usual Europe thing where it starts at 10 p.m. I play for 6 hours, then go to sleep, wake up, and then I can really play a longer session. But yeah, this time around I'm doing it early. I can tell you straight up, if you're not sure on this build, it's completely utterly broken. Turns out the POBs were not lying. It's just Kinetic Fusillade is a broken skill. Ballista Totem fits perfectly because of the 50% less attack speed. You don't need any like really reduced duration. I still only have the one from the tree and less duration support, and it just fires like it just destroys everything. Now this league has actually gauntlet bosses, so it's Phrecia, but it has gauntlet bosses, but I don't even notice. It just does not matter. This has been still like one of the smoothest leveling experiences ever. I will go over some things in this video to make your life a little bit easier. And I will kind of talk about the transition, some of the int issues that will occur throughout leveling. So I'll show you real quickly how this skill has ought to look like. The character is called Pal Gatling Gun for a reason. So I'll put down the totem and I'll just show you how it should be looking like. I put down the totem, and it's just shooting, right? That's all that happens. It just keeps shooting. There should not be any projectiles ever hovering over the totem. It should just be, yeah, boom, boom, boom. And once again, in order for this to happen, you will need less duration support right here. You cannot scale too much attack speed. Usually it's safe, and you need to take this cluster right here with the less skill effect duration and window of opportunity. I go over this more extensively in my first video, so definitely check that out. But what do you actually need to transition to wands? Well, Duelist doesn't get Kinetic Fusillade, so unless you have a buddy who gives it to you, you need to do, as always, the library quest and then get it from there. The only other gem you need from library is less duration. Do note that I have also been updating my POB, and one of the updates were that I put some notes in there, so you can see right here, respec later, because now I would also tell you to wait until Greater Volley at 38. It's just a bigger power spike, right? It's even more projectiles, even more damage. And once you get your 5th link, which once again, if you do Breach, you will get a free one from Slave Pens if you do the mechanic, and you will get a free one from doing Twilight Strand for Lily. So if you do the Breach mechanic there will be a guaranteed 5 link. You can also just buy them from trade for like 1 chaos. I would highly recommend 3 red, 1 blue, 1 green is GG. And your last support, the most important ones are Kinetic Fusillade, Ballista Totem, less duration, and Greater Volley, as seen right here. And these are mandatory to respec. And then once you get a 5 link, go life tap. Until you go life tap, the mana is a little bit annoying, so you can spec stuff like, for example, if you want to Frill of Blade. Oh, and another thing, we don't need any transfigure gems. So if you do lab and you get quality at the end, put it on less duration. Both times I got quality, I put it on less duration. I put my GCPs on less duration because this one just makes it better and makes it less likely that you have too much attack speed. For the wand, first, what are you looking for? As much flat damage as possible. Whenever you respec, you obviously need a decent wand. You can't just go from your GG bow that you found somewhere and that's one-shotting things to then obviously go for the bow. But I can tell you that no matter what you're gonna do, it's gonna feel even better. And Rain of Arrows already feels good, but this is like next level. So this is the wand I've been using since level 38. I have not been upgrading it. It has a little bit of cold damage. It has a little bit of lightning damage. I'm pretty sure I threw an essence on here, and that's what the cold damage was from. And then the lightning damage, and I crafted on spell damage. You can also craft on fire damage, whatever you want right here. For the suffix, just don't do attack speed because it might be too much attack speed for this stage. The way to get a wand is threefold. You can obviously gamble it from town, from vendor, or from Faustus in your hideout, right? Gamble for items. There's one in every town. You can also gamble from Breach. So what that means is you should be doing your monastery throughout leveling to get your 6th link early. And then you can go here and whenever you get the whatever item womb right here, you can put something in. And you can go for increased chance for birthed equipment to be weapons. And then here you can go for ranged weapons. So you take these 3 points and then you also take more chance for birthed equipment to have int requirement. And you can also go for less chance for it to have strength or dexterity requirements. If you do all that, you're basically guaranteed to get a wand. Now, actually, you don't even need to click strength requirement, just dexterity requirement, because the only ranged weapons really are wand and bows, right? So you guaranteed to get wands, so that way you can also get a good one. And the last one is you just slam an essence somewhere, and it is what it is, right? If you can get, for example, hatred that gives cold damage, that's great. Fire damage, lightning damage, and that's what you're really looking for. Flat damage of any sorts, cold, lightning, fire, does not matter. Even physical is decent, and then spell damage as much as possible. Now, int might be a little bit annoying because we are on the bottom side of the tree. There's a few things. Obviously, the 30 int node right here is a no-brainer. You can also take mana flows. It was never necessary for me, but it's right there, right? It's 20 int, and before you get life tab, it's also quite nice for the mana regen. After that, the first item you should be buying ASAP for the first few chaos that you have is Dode Race Tenure. It gives you a 100% increased spell damage, which for this skill actually converts to 150 attack damage. The reduced cast speed doesn't matter, and then it also has a bunch of int. On top of that, I just gambled into a Carnage Heart from the Breach Tree, from the random uniques that I got from over here, but you can also just buy it for 1 chaos. It has a crap ton of all attributes, which also fixes your strength. Next up, for defense, this is Gauntlet bosses. So I would highly recommend get yourself a Xoth graft as soon as possible. I currently have a Heart of Flame level 16, and this one gives me a stupid amount of shield. It can take up to 2,454. This straight up doubles my life pool, and it is up a lot. It is ridiculous. It's basically like a molten shell that you don't have to scale armor for. And what you do in order to get it, or more likely, is Xoth curation, more chance to get Xoth crafts. And if you get this one, then GG. Probably don't unequip it. Even in maps, I'm not going to unequip it. Early on, from level 1 to 12, if you get an early craft, try and go for Tool. Tool will give you Squalling, which is the Tornado. If you've ever seen Tornado, it will completely one-shot everything, and it is ridiculous in the first few levels. But once you start feeling the heat, definitely go for Xoth and Heart of Flame. Now, what else? Okay, so first, the Ascendancy order, I put this in the POB notes as well, but I go Light of Divinity into Elemental Valiance. When you first respec into the wand version, you only have Light of Divinity. You will want to look for as much flat damage as possible because you don't have any. You do get it from Heralds, and you want to swap to Wrath as soon as possible, right? But until then, you definitely want to get as much flat as humanly possible. After that, you get Elemental Valiance. This gives you both Anger and Wrath, and now you need to spec out of your Wrath and go for Purity of Elements because they don't stack. So if you get a Wrath from Elemental Valiance, yours is lost. Go Purity of Elements. That is what I'm currently going for. My third Ascendancy will most likely be Anointed Champion unless I get an early taunt. I think it's Murderous Eye Jewel or whatever. Then sure, I will highly recommend you to not go for Totem Taunt. I know that there's a mastery that gives Totem Taunt. It is not reliable. It is on paper only. It is not good enough. It's for 1 second and only if you place the totem on top of the enemy, and that doesn't always happen. I can hover over my items here real quick, but there's really nothing special about it. Everything's self-found. Now, you would also like to get spell damage as much as possible from your shield. Obviously, flat damage from rings is huge. I just found this one. Anything with move speed goes, right? Still blue right here. And then I have a Quartz Flask, which you get from a quest reward. Super good on every totem build. And then just double Quicksilver and a Mana Flask. Now, otherwise, I adjusted a few things. So for Act 1, when you're gonna go for... there's loadouts now, by the way, so you can actually click the loadouts. I have to fiddle around with it. It's a little bit weird, but it does work now. Act 1 is Galvanic Arrow. As I said, the only thing here that I changed is I went to Shrapnel Ballistas instead of Galvanic Arrow Ballistas. I just tried it out. It just works better. It's a little bit more damage, and that's really all you need at the start. Up to level 12, it feels okay. It was pretty decent. If you have a good bow, Brutus, even with the Gauntlet mod, is a complete joke. Then, end of Act 1, you're going to go into Rain of Arrows. And Rain of Arrows, I just love that skill. Keep upgrading your bow, keep getting as much flat damage from everywhere as you can. Herald of Ice, Herald of Thunder are going to carry quite a bit as well. And as I said, everything else as outlined in the video. This build has been a breeze to play for now. I don't know where this is going to lead, but I cannot remember when I last had this easy of a transition at level 38 and then this easy of a campaign. The skill's also extremely fun. You put down your totems, everything kind of explodes, and it's like a Gatling gun. Like I said, it's fun, it's strong. We'll see where it leads. There is a high probability that this might be my Leap starter for 3.28 as well. So this is a really good test run in general, and everything I learned, I'll obviously share right here over on YouTube. If you want to follow along, as always, I will be streaming over on twitch.tv/Palsteron. So you can do that right there. You can also watch all my VODs. Everything I do on this character will be on stream. So yeah, everything is documented. I will also link a snapshot of the character you just saw down below in the description as a pub. I also have a doc where everything's documented. I have a regex in there. I have filter in there and everything. But yeah, highly recommend this build. Gotta go back to grinding. And since I still don't have a slogan, see you next time.